Computer. Hello, everyone, and welcome to From Surviving to Thriving, where we don't just talk about the pretty parts of business. We talk about the things in between. We talk about the challenges, the mindset shifts, and the days where you just don't want to, but you do it anyways. My name is Robin Carr. I'm your host. I'm an award-winning motivational speaker, author, mindset coach, and the founder of Thrive Unapologetically. And today I am so excited to have with me Shelly McClintock. And she is the founder of Pioneer Consulting, where she helps women win their Mondays. And I actually love this because we were recording this on a Monday today, so that just makes me even happier. So, Shelly, please share with me a little bit about what inspired you to actually begin doing this work.
So I am a life coach because all throughout the last kind of half of my career, I have always prided myself, probably as a coping skill more than anything else, to be very self-aware. Probably because I wanted to make sure I knew what was going on and I could fix it before somebody else could give me criticism about it. But anyway, so I really appreciated coaching in general as a modality because it doesn't tell you what to do. And it also doesn't always help you understand the why and dig into all kinds of stuff. It can, but that stuff's more for therapy. Coaching is really about providing a container and a space for you to remember what you already know and to remember or relearn how to trust yourself and to put action steps to it. For me, it was really just getting out of my own way. So, and that's continues to be my journey and my path, but I thoroughly am passionate about coaching just as a modality, and that so many people just need someone to come alongside them, not even ahead of them, but come alongside of them. And one of the tools I have is a permission slip. I am totally willing to give you permission today to take care of yourself if you really just need that and are struggling to give that to yourself today. So things like that are just, that's what is huge, because it's usually not the big things. It's not, I need you to solve my blah, blah, blah problem that I've had for the past 30 years. Most of us know how to solve those problems. We just need the courage and the support to make the hard decisions that we don't want to do on our own, or we don't want to do at all, actually. Yeah, that's absolutely.
So I absolutely love that. And it's incredible that you mentioned the permission slip, because that's something that I actually was still struggling with under the surface up until relatively recently. And one day my husband comes home and I'm like bawling my eyes out, and he's like, "What is wrong with you?" And I'm like, "I don't have to ask for permission anymore." And he's like, "You own your own business. From who to do what? What are you talking about?" So I love that. That is amazing. And I think it's a great resource for people. So you mentioned that there are some struggles in your own life and your personal journey and stuff that you're still working through. So this is a two-part question, but how do you continue to work through what you're working through and help the people that you're, helping? But then from a business perspective too, the struggles that are really in your business, and, how do you get through those as well? Or are they connected? Are they the same?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
And I'm probably going to need some help remembering all of that.
Yeah.
So really, to start with, some of the challenges for me is I always kind of discounted. I believe firmly that we all have trauma. We all deal with crap, right? It's all relative. And I think growing up the way I did, pretty sheltered, middle class, I wasn't hungry as a kid. I wasn't abused as a child. However, I just discounted that and always thought to myself, people have it worse than me. So what's my problem? You just need to pretty much get your shit together. And we were talking before this just a minute ago, is my go-to was always, if stuff wasn't working the way I thought it should, I would just work harder. I also it was ingrained in me pretty early on that if something wasn't going well, it's because I didn't prepare enough ahead of time and I made a mistake throughout. So that meant that whenever kind of life went downhill, it was just my go-to job to fix it. That also meant that I grew up, and my parents, let's just say for the record, they're amazing. They did the best that they could. I'm not saying all of this is their fault, my fault, whatever. I picked up these ideas somewhere, but that I was a perfectionist. It was a way of protecting myself and staying safe. So yeah, that's part of the fixing myself before anybody had a chance to criticize me either. But I also never learned how to trust myself. Like my voice wasn't as important and valid as somebody else's opinion, especially if they were in authority for whatever reason. I grew up in organized religion, you know, and the safe place was always, what did authority say? What was supposed to happen? What were the rules? And also people pleasing was pretty huge for me. That's how I really got my validation. So, and on top of that, the piece of the iceberg that's under all of that I'm just now getting to is I never learned how to listen to my body either and understand energy, because yeah, that was some scary shit. Because if I really paid attention to what I was feeling, it was dark and yuck. And again, going back to my belief systems, it was all my fault anyway. So yeah, it was just really messy down there. And I still struggle with what everybody calls the messy middle, which is, let's be honest, 80% of life, right? So that's really what life is about in general on a day-to-day basis, is figuring out that life is the journey instead of just the goal line. And that it's supposed to be messy, and that doesn't mean there's anything wrong, and it's all right to live in it. And so connecting all that to my business, it really is hard to separate the two, Robin, because everybody will say it who's an entrepreneur, but it's almost like having kids. If you have challenges or issues, being a parent is going to bring them all out. And so will owning your own business. Because your business is your business will embody whatever drama and issues and whatever you have going on. And the universe works everything out for me. So that means that if there's opportunities for me to learn some things, then the universe is going to make that kind of opportunity within my business to make that happen. So I think, did I get all the pieces of the question?
You did, and you did it beautifully. You were throwing in like fire and gemstones at me, and that's just amazing. I was taking notes. But yeah, you're absolutely right, and I do understand what you mean about how they bleed together. So I guess, but what do you do about them? So you have these struggles, and one bleeds to the other. Like, how do you handle them? How do you overcome those?
Yeah. So first of all, if you ever come across someone or considering somebody as a coach and they don't have their own coach, run. So I have coaches, more than one, several. I put myself in rooms to be vulnerable and to ask for guidance and help, not just from anybody. You make sure that they're aligned with you, but yeah, you're continually open. And it's also, you have to set up your own boundaries and use the tools that you are recommending to other people, right? So one of the things, the permission slip is a really great example. You know, it's not just for people I work with and for clients. It's for me, that there are times that I have to take a hot minute and to say, I give myself permission to take care of myself today and to determine what that looks like. Because, you know, one day that might mean a nap. Another day that might be drink the water, you know, and maybe not another cup of coffee. You know, It's really, for me, it's getting quiet and listening to myself and being honest. Being brutally honest with myself has been a tool of this whole journey as well, which is not easy either, because I don't always like the answer.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't deal with the real issue or know even what exists if you're not really honest with yourself. So it's using a lot of the tools that I use with clients. It's quieting the noise. I do a noise audit with clients as well to get all the blizzard out of your head, all the stuff that's rolling around in your head that you're just like, holy crap, it won't stop. And half of those things, if you've ever done anything that's helped you quiet that blizzard, half of those things are not relevant, or they're not yours to deal with, or things
Mm-hmm.
that we have taken on a false sense of responsibility for, or this exaggerated hero syndrome for, or they're things that we have zero control over. Like the fact that I really want spring to come, I can't change the weather, So why give any energy to it and just appreciate where I'm at in the present, in the moment? So yeah, there's a lot of meditation, reading, whatever. Yeah, all the tools.
I love that because I too have several coaches, but if you are the type of person that you're like, do as I say, not as I do, you're never going to go anywhere in this business. So that is phenomenal. Um, so a couple more questions. And so for the people that you do work with, um, what would you say is like the best result, the best outcome? Is it just that they're in a better headspace? They love what they do. They're able to get up and go to work every day with a positive attitude. Like, what does that look like for somebody?
I would say really the best outcome that I have with my clients is to really have the space and the tools to deal with life when it comes. So it could be all of that. It could be the ability to get out of bed. It's going to be individual to that person. The reason why in my tagline is I help women win their Mondays is because sometimes that can look like a totally different career change.
Mm-hmm.
It's the permission and the opportunity to work through what they really want and to go after it. It's not going to happen tomorrow, but most of us have put our own dreams on the back burner, or don't even bother dreaming, or have not been willing to listen to ourselves enough to say, what do I really want? 90% of the people out there, if you ask them that, would be like, I have no idea. Because it's really about, well, I want my kids to have shoes, or I want a vacation, or it's something that, they're supposed to want, or, maybe would make their life better. Like, I want a dishwasher, but let's go a little past that, What do I really, really want? And it's not an easy answer to come up with.
Mm-hmm.
So win on your Mondays means that you are creating a life for yourself that is intentional and that you have chosen, not that you think you're supposed to have or what somebody else told you it was possible. So yeah, that's kind of a deep answer, but that's absolutely what it is. And it's going to look different for everybody.
I love that. And this is not a surface level conversation ever. This podcast
Right.
is not. Um, so I love that. And I love that you went deep there and you really gave that full bodied answer because it should. I mean, coaching should be personal to every person. Like, yeah, you
Mm-hmm.
may have a framework, you may have tools, but it should be different. So I love that. You have been dropping fire and gems and so many things today. But if there was one piece of advice, just one that you could, or maybe two, that you could give everybody who's listening, what would that be? What would it look like?
I would say if there's something that you really have been wanting to do or need to do for yourself, Robin and I step up right now and give you permission to do that. If that's what it takes, if you're not able to give yourself permission, or you need you need that statement to tell your partner, your child, or your spouse to say, like, Robin gave me permission to do that, so I'm going to go do it. What is that thing that you need to do for yourself today? And we give you permission to do it and to do something for yourself today, not what a commercial tells you you should want for yourself, like buy that new car or whatever. That would be great. But do you need to walk outside for 5 minutes, or do you need to drink that water, or what would looking after yourself look like today? Because here's another nugget. We have been waiting, most of us wait for somebody not just to give us a permission, but to come and save us and to fix it. Nobody's coming. We have to step up and be our own heroes, because we're the only ones that know what's going to save us right now. We're the only ones that know what we need. And we get to decide that and choose that. But we also have the responsibility of choosing and deciding that. So yeah, nobody's coming. So it's up to you to take care of yourself today, because nobody else can do it for you.
Thank you so much. That is beautiful. And I absolutely honor and second that. If anybody needs permission, you got it. And if anybody, has an annoying person in their life, like, please don't send them our way. I'm just kidding. You have our permission, but we're not responsible. No.
That's right.
So most importantly, for anyone's listening, how do they get in touch with you? Because I imagine there's going to be some people who are wanting to reach out to you after this episode. How do they do that?
Absolutely. So I'm going to share links with you that you can put in the show notes. My website is pioneertogether.com, and my email is shelly@pioneertogether.com as well. I'm on LinkedIn, on Facebook. Yeah, come and find me, and I would love to speak with you. And I'm going to give you also a few tools that you can put in your show notes if folks really want them as well. I'd love to reach out to folks. If you want to set up an appointment with me, you can do that on my website as well. I will talk to anybody for 20 minutes and we'll go from there.
I love that. Well, Shelly, thank you so much for the surprise freebies. That's always good. And for agreeing to be here today. It has been an absolute pleasure. For everyone else out there, if you're in the middle right now, I want you to know this. You're not behind. You're becoming. And that is what thriving really looks like. Bye, y'all.